Hello, and welcome to the Annie Altman Show, the podcast, Season 4. Welcome to Podcastukkah, Episode 4. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to those of you celebrating. The Annie Altman Show projects are Field Me Search for the Humani, an interactive stand-up comedy musical philosophy show from the perspective of a human named Annie. Hey, it's me. The Humani is about how no one ever fully figures out how to human, how there's 10 C themes of the human experience connected by the C theme of connection, and how openly discussing these themes is part of maximizing resource equity and minimizing human suffering. Today, I'm here with Vinita Khilnani talking about education and how it encourages curiosity. Vinita does all of the things, and so I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about all the different projects and things you're doing. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Wow, where do I begin? Merry Christmas, for sure.
From two people who don't celebrate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do I begin? Well, I'm an LA native. I'm an Indian gal. I have a big science background, and I love science. I love comedy. I work with children. I tutor math and science and SAT prep. What else do I talk about? There's just so many things.
Acting, singing, your YouTube channel.
Yes, I have
You do
a YouTube
so much.
channel.
You're on the board of 12 different things.
I know. I can't keep track of myself because I'm nuts.
What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, I'm excited to end 2019 on a strong note and get a bunch of tutoring in there. Maybe book a couple more commercials. Maybe like some type of web series. I don't know. Something cool. And just like have a healthy year, you know, because I just got out of a cold. It was a pretty serious one. But I'm fine now. I might cough during this podcast. I apologize. But yeah, what about you? Are you excited for anything before the year is over?
Yeah, I'm very excited about doing Podcastukkah for a second year. It feels really good to do something again annually, and so I'm excited to be getting to do this again.
Yeah. Oh, and we should say thanks to Neil Kumar because he brought us together in a way.
Yeah, shout out to Neil.
Yeah, we met at the some juice store, nature store.
Nature Too Well Organic.
Nature
Juice
Wells, yes.
Bar.
Yeah.
Juice and smoothie bar.
Rose. So anyway, good thing we met, and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on and talking about, I feel like education is something that you have a perspective in so many different ways because like I was saying, you do so many different things. Mm-hmm. And like you're taking the class at Groundlings.
Yeah.
I'm in a class at UCB.
Yeah.
We both came from an intense science background. You were going to be a vet. I was going to be a doctor. And then both of us were like, nope, we're going to not do that. Actually, we want to do media.
Yeah.
Performing, entertainment.
Totally. I volunteered with quite a few vets back in the day, and I was like, let me see what this is all about. And I don't know, it wasn't really for me. So I was like, I still love animals and I love helping them, and I want to donate one day and help them, help the endangered species and travel and this and that. But the vet thing wasn't for me. I feel like I'm more of passionate for entertainment. So I was like, that's where I'm supposed to be. So.
Yeah, I felt that too. I wonder, do you feel like because you're a curious person that was part of how you went along as far as you did on the vet route? Like, because you just like learning for the sake of learning?
Yeah.
And like you said, you like animals.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm definitely a very curious person. I think I might be too curious sometimes. But I wanted to try out every section of the vet world. So I was an equine volunteer, which is for horses. I was domestic vet. I volunteered with them. I worked as a whale watching tour guide once.
Wow.
Just kind of so I could see every aspect of it. But yeah, I mean, it was all really fun, but it wasn't something I was like, I'm going to spend my life doing this. So yeah, I didn't really finish that. But
is that what you mean by too curious? Like spreading yourself too thin, or like looking into too many things to be able to really go deep?
You know what? Maybe, yeah.
Because I feel that sometimes too, where I'm like, there's the bell curve of life definitely applies to curiosity as well.
Yeah, there's so many things that I'm interested in. Like I want to learn how to fly a plane. I've taken two flying lessons, but it's expensive and you have to really dedicate yourself. I want to learn so many things. Like I'm gonna go scuba diving and this and that, but because I am so curious, you can't really do everything. We can't. I do spread myself pretty thin, but I need to really focus more on a couple things and just put my energy into that. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that next year.
Letting yourself edit down a little.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it can, just do what you want the challenge can be figuring out what that is. Or how to really listen to yourself about what you want to do. And especially for people who, everyone has curiosity in their own way. And for people who maybe are extra curious or extra kind of, I'm going to put myself out there and explore something kind of a person, it can really become about, I use the term fuck budgeting because of a TED Talk that I watched and loved about you only have so many hours in a day. You only have so much emotional energy to put towards different things. And so,
totally.
You can't be educating yourself all day, every day, even though sometimes part of me is like, that's what I need to be doing.
I know, but I want to. Like, I'm always on YouTube.
There's so much out there to learn.
Like, I just cut my own hair today, so I was like, how do you thin your hair? How do you layer your hair? So I was watching a bunch of videos on that. And then I want to know how my car works, so I'm always like, how do you change your oil? How do you do this? So I'm like, I can just learn. But then I think I need to take a step back and just also realize, like, you can't do it all. You just, even though I am very curious.
And very capable, like, you are doing a lot of things.
Yeah, totally. But I do find at times that I can't do some of the things that I'm doing at the highest capacity because I am spread too thin.
Totally.
So yeah, I'm trying not to say yes to any more things. Like I have a lot on my plate right now, but yeah, it feels good to do a lot of different things because I get bored with routine, so I like to have every day being different. Yeah, that's what I thrive on.
Yeah, same. And
yeah,
I like having some stability of doing maybe similar activities, but having the
maybe
schedule
a different
change
location or something is different, but not like going to the same place at the same time every day.
Which some people love and thrive in. Like the whole world is not all going to operate. I'm reminding myself in the same way.
Yeah. No, my mom loves routine. So she's like, I love going there at the same time. So she's one of those people, but I'm just different. I like every day to be like new and like, oh, what's going to happen today? Oh, this and that.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to like what video on YouTube can I look up to learn about? I have watched in the past maybe 2 years of life, I feel like I've watched YouTube more than I've watched television. I just love, I got into vegan YouTube, weed YouTube, I've like gone into astrology YouTube, philosophy, there's so much.
I know.
We're really in a very cool time, and also a time that it's so easy to spread yourself so thin because you can learn anything.
I know.
It's all out. There's so much information out there. So how does anyone choose what to watch or listen to?
This morning I was watching like 20 minutes or so about what is 5G and like why it's what's coming out. Is it out? Like what is it? And I was just like, wow, this is so educational. So I learned a lot about that. It was quite interesting. But yeah, you can get stuck on YouTube just teaching yourself, learning all these things. Makeup for us, or who are, weight loss, anything.
So much stuff.
It's just out of control. So I'm sure everyone else can relate to this. So
yeah, there's something about YouTube education or just watching for entertainment purposes, or there's something very personal about YouTube that I really like. And yeah, it's still media and people can put themselves out there however they want. There's something that I really love, like the kind of social science, psychology part of me loves getting to learn from someone's experience directly. So watching a YouTube video about someone talking about experimenting with vegan or keto or some like whatever food health thing, or their experience, those seem to be my favorite videos. Totally. To really like when it really feels like someone's having just a sit down talk about, hey, I did this thing, this was what it was like for me, or showing about it. I think those are so cool.
Yeah, me too. There was actually this on Black Friday. There was this hair like volumizer and brush in one. And I'm not like a big product person, but excuse me. I watched about 15 different YouTube videos on the review of this product because I was like, if I'm going to spend $40, I want to know that it's legit. It's not going to fall apart, and it's like, And all these people were like, it's a great product. It gets hot, but it like does the job. And, I went out and got it. So, and it's amazing. So if you need a hair volumizer and dryer in one, it's called the Revlon something volumizer hair.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yes, but I was so blown away.
Ooh, yeah. Hashtag pun intended.
Yeah. Lots of puns today. Great product. I think it's I used it this morning. So my hair looks, you guys can't see, great. But my hair looks great.
And your cutting of it looks so, like the ends look
thanks.
So healthy. Yeah.
I heard it looked like funny, but I'll probably fix it later.
Watch another tutorial and...
I know. Like how to layer it or something.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it opens up so much accountability because you can watch 15 different YouTube videos on the same product from different humans in different places. And
exactly. So it's not like you're trusting one person, but there's like, if everyone's saying it's cool, then you're like, okay, I'm going to take a chance.
Yeah.
So I love YouTube.
Yeah, I like to take a chance because that definitely ties into curiosity.
Yes.
In my head, that's a big piece of it, is not knowing what you're going to find, or kind of taking a chance to explore something and see what a class or an experience or a job or whatever is like.
Yeah, I think curiosity is also like when you go out on dates. Like you are curious about a person, whether they're going to be compatible or, whether there's something you like, what it could be and where it could lead. And there's curiosity everywhere.
Yeah. What is that word even, like how would you define
curiosity?
Yeah.
Something that sparks your interest and wanting to know. And, cause a lot of people are curious, but they don't do anything about it.
Ooh, so
you know
that's
what I mean?
Cool to put. Yeah. So building in some action into the definition of the word. Like it's more than just that feeling of like, ooh, maybe I'll look into that. It's actually exploring it in some capacity.
Yeah. Cause I think
because otherwise it's just a thought.
Yeah. Some people are like, oh, I wonder how that refrigerator may work, but then they won't do anything about it. But then another person will be like, I'm going to go watch a YouTube video on how my fridge works. And then some people might even get hands-on and just take it apart themselves. So I think there's different levels of curiosity, whether it's just a thought or an action. I think I'm more of the kind of person who does the action, as you can see with all the stuff I've done.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's different learning styles, like hands-on learning, or people who are more visual or audio or want to read something. Yeah.
So curiosity, it has a whole world of where it could go. And just, how you learn, how you fulfill your curiosity, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like between all humans, someone's curious about everything. Like there's someone who would be legitimately interested in any sort of thing.
And then there's people that are like too curious.
Like you were saying, a feeling like maybe you're doing too much or like looking into too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think I take action on what I can, and then the rest of me that is curious about other stuff, either I'm like, I'm gonna wait on this until later in my life, or I'll just say, you know what, I want to know about it, but I don't think I need to know right now, so I'll just put a hold on that. That might have been the same thing, but I don't know.
Well, I hear you on the like that that makes me think of the phrase on a need to know basis. And I used to be my extremist part would come out in curiosity in terms of feeling this really intense need to have everything on the table all the time.
The table, like literally, or just
no, like on the emotional table or on the communication table for a different C, like being able to feel like with the people I was really close with that I could talk about anything at any time, and that was what I needed to feel safe. And I have since revised that to everything on the table at some point.
That's cool.
Yeah, I care a lot about being able to explore any topic at some time, and also have eased up some about when is that gone to an extreme point of maybe this doesn't need to be talked about this exact moment, or maybe I don't need to know this right now for a reason that I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I think when I was a little bit younger, maybe like 10 years ago, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna find out. I need to find out immediately. To maybe it was my thing was an insecurity thing. I'm not really sure, but now 10 years.
You said
later,
it was or wasn't?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I think for me too. It was like because it feels secure to feel like you like are knowing more.
Exactly, but now that I've gotten older, I think it's partially like, you know what, I don't really care, or I'll get to it when I get to it. So it's probably like a prioritizing thing. Because, you know, you realize what's important to you, you know, and you kind of want to focus your energy on that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Similar story.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have that sort of easing up. Or there's definitely something about, you know, like the Zen mind, beginner mind, or childhood curiosity, or something that is sort of built in, which makes sense when you're first learning language and all of your first figuring out being a human, that there's going to be more curiosity because you have so much more to learn about.
I know.
Like, how do I do my day? What is all this stuff I'm doing? And then you go along and there's so much stuff and so much more comes up, and it's like, okay, what do I want to prioritize?
Exactly. Yeah. I have so much that I want to learn still, and I'm sure you do. So learning how to fly a plane is on my list, but I'm not going to do that right now because I don't think it's super priority for me right now. But learning how to drive a stick shift car is something a little more accessible for me. So my goal is before the year is over, I'm going to learn how to do that. So
cool. So
I prioritize, and maybe next year or like in 5 years, I'll take some more flying lessons. But yeah, for now, curiosity has, you know, I'll probably do the car thing. And then obviously, like I'm Indian and I don't speak Hindi, but I can understand it. And I wish that I learned when I was younger, like how to speak it and be fluent. But I am curious. I'm like, do you think do I have the capacity to learn? Am I old enough, like to maintain everything? Like, will it stay in there? Because my brain is already like full of stuff.
Language is definitely harder as you're older.
Exactly.
They say, and also people totally learn languages at any age.
But so I am curious about language as well, but I don't know if it's something that I will fully pursue right now. Like, you know, do I want to spend my days speaking Hindi, you know, or, you know, so the same thing about priorities. Like, what do I want to spend my time doing? Yeah, well,
and that's an interesting one in terms of the overarching sea of connection and also the community sea, and
you're
part
right.
of like learning. I wonder how much curiosity is sort of leading us towards connecting with parts of our culture, our heritage, our other people in our lives. You know, like our friend is interested in something, and so we explore that too. Yeah, like, specifically with Hindi, that's a...
Yeah, exactly. Like traveling, like why do we travel? Some will say it's an adventure. Some want to learn about other cultures. But yeah, it's about being curious. Like, I'm sure there's countries you want to visit and that I want to visit, but they may be different because we have different curiosities, you know? Like, my fiance loves history, and he wants to visit places that have stories behind them, and like a temple with ruins, or like things that were built, and I have no interest on that. So I'm like, you can go to those places by yourself. I'm more of like a nature person. So I like to go to like crazy rainforests, or, you know, just some places that have a lot of animal diversity and just different climates. So we're different people. But
I bet you'd want to totally go to see different animals at different places too.
Oh my God, yeah. Like if you were to say like Japan, he'd be like, oh, you know, the buildings. And I'd be like, what about the macaques? Like the snow, you know, they sit in the snow and they're so cute. So I think curiosity goes, of course, with travel, like big time, you know, like what are your curiosities when you travel? Like, where's your favorite?
I was when the first thought that came up when you said that was, I was like, I just got a call again from Birthright Israel yesterday being like, God.
Did you?
Hey, no, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't done it.
I've done it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm an honorary Jewish girl. No, I'm not.
Honorary tribes member.
Yeah.
I mean, also I've had that with, I have a tattoo in Hebrew, and I could read some when I was bat mitzvahed and then haven't, and thought about the curiosity in a similar, like, well, I'm not going to go around speaking Hebrew, and also there's something that feels nice about knowing some of it, or...
I know. So I'm just like, I kind of want to know, but then it's not that bad. But I'm like, is it because of my age or is it because I just don't really care enough? So
I feel like when it becomes something that you care about at the same time that you have the time and space for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it'll happen.
Yeah, I had a big realization in the end of 2014, health-wise. Like I had just a lot mentally going on. And so at the start of 2015, I decided I was only going to say yes to certain things that like helped me become a better person. And so I started to say no more. And I'm still, dealing with that in 2019, but I'm getting better at it. I think I'm learning. Where am I going with this? I forgot. I think I'm just... What were you saying about that before? I totally blanked.
About that you'll essentially that we'll
language?
make time. We all make time for the stuff that we want to when we want to and have
exactly
have the space to do that.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is now I really just I say no more because I want to I want my energy to be focused, positive, and around the right people. So this year was really good for me growth wise, and it's just kind of tying it back.
No is a powerful word.
It is, and it's
meme
hard.
And it is a complete sentence for other people who forget that often.
I know.
It is a complete sentence.
It's so easy to be like, hey, do you want to come do this? And to be like, yeah, maybe. And then instead of being like, no, I really can't do it, or no, I don't want to do it. So I've learned to just be honest and, and I say no. Like if someone the other day was like, oh, do you want to come to this event? And I was like, no, I'm good. And they were like, why not? And I'm like, I'd rather go to bed early, actually. So I was like, you know what? That's just who I am. And I'm not being mean. I don't have any interest.
To me, it would be more mean from my perspective for you to go when you don't want to go. Because how I see that from zooming out from that one event is that the more times, and this is totally projecting in my experience of that as well, the more times that you do the thing that you don't want to do because you feel like you have that obligation to the other person or to the event or to the whatever, what that seems to do mostly is just build up resentment towards whatever that thing is rather than building a positive relationship. And so to me, that is actually, I would way rather have someone say, no, I don't want to do something than to show up and not want to be there.
Yeah. And
that's not fun. For consent goes in all the things.
Exactly. And to add to that, some people might even say, they might say yes to your face, and then they might either flake or text you and be like, I'm not going to make it. So it's like, you're kind of coming off as a coward a little bit. And I'm just like, just say it to my face. Just be like, I'm not interested. So it's really hard, I think, for people, especially people nowadays, because texting is so easy to just be like,
yeah, you can flake so easily.
Yeah.
There's a John Mulaney stand-up bit that's something like canceling plans is like heroin.
Yeah.
And with texting and all these things now, it's so much easier to do that. And so people are way more likely to an hour before be like, oh, I can't make it.
Yeah, I can't make it, or just don't respond, which I feel like is really rude. But yeah, it's just the phone has really changed a lot of stuff. But I do appreciate when people are honest and they're like, I'm not going to come, or I'm going to be late, or I don't want to come.
Yeah.
So
because we all want to be given that space ourselves.
Yeah, you know what I think it is? We all want to be loved. That's just it. That's why we work hard. That's why we dress up sometimes. That's why we get an education. We all want to be loved because we want to be successful. We want to find a partner. That's just kind of what the big picture is. And I'm not sure if curiosity is related to that. I think it is.
We're curious for love, or if the places and the people and the experiences we'll find it in, or the things that will lead us to find it in ourselves to even go more into the...
Maybe. I'm trying to still figure out how curiosity... But yeah, like you said, is it because we're curious about
what love is?
What love is.
Wait, actually, that reminds me of... That's so funny. I had a friend in high school that... our senior year, got very drunk one time and got so philosophical about what is love and what does this mean, and then since then I've seen that lots of times with people very drunk or very high, that they end up at this same thing that you just said about, well, we all want to be loved, and what is love? What is that we're even curious and seeking for?
Yeah, I think
what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. I think from my personal experience, being loved is having like another half that understands you and not is you, but like gets you, and you can fully be yourself in front of them.
Yeah, I wonder how much kind of with PC things that go too far, like going out to a pendulum extreme, that the whole in the self-love movement and in the independence and don't find another half, be a whole on your own, and that maybe can go too far to a point of, I mean, personally, I believe in the being a complete person on your own in terms of partnership specifically. And also I think that I feel that can go to an extreme where people, it seems like a rejection of the truth to me that we all want to be loved.
So here's what I'm going to say about that. I have learned that you cannot fully find the love that you need until you are happy with yourself. And this is completely just from a personal viewpoint. Like 10 years ago, I was going on a lot of dates, just trying to be loved, find someone who made me laugh, loved me, and, kept me on my toes, like all kinds of stuff. But then the truth was I wasn't happy with myself. So I was looking for happiness within another person. And I was like, you know what? This is so tiring, draining. Like, why am I doing this? So the minute that I actually decided to spend time on myself, and like whether it was my health or my career or my family, that's when someone came into my life that turned out to be the one. So I think people out there, maybe they start too young with dating, but you need to really focus on, I think you need to learn on who you are before you go and find a partner, or because that's why there's so many like failed relationships, because everyone is forcing it. In life, you don't need to force anything. If you are forcing something, it's not meant to be. Yeah. I feel like, things that will come a little easier, they're meant to be there. So just like let it happen. I don't know, this got super deep, but it's true.
I needed that reminder. I feel like I could use that reminder literally every day, because I definitely have that part of me that says, well, if I'm more persistent in my curiosity, or if I explore more things, or, if I, that part that wants to do more than to be. And also I feel like a fear comes up in me, or the part that I need to talk to about that is saying that it's allowed to be easy. Because I definitely have this, I'm in a deep deprogramming, reprogramming about things being allowed to be easy. Like it doesn't, I think the part of me that's like, I want to be so curious and research this and research that is like, oh, well, doing more is the way to get things done, rather than accepting that, the curiosity, the path of education, learning something it is a much windier sort of a thing, and stuff will come up on its own.
Yeah, I think even myself, I need reminders at times, but I think in my past, when I have found like, oh, I'm going to really like force this, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to do this. And like sometimes you have these obstacles and you're asking yourself, is this an obstacle to test me, or is this an obstacle because it's just not meant to be at this time in my life? What a great, curious question. Yeah. Because, we all have obstacles, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. And we sit down and you should ask yourself, like, why is this happening? Some people don't do that. They just keep it moving. Yeah. But I like to observe. I like to, see why something happened. Maybe I should take a break. Maybe I shouldn't go down that path. Maybe I should just focus on this. So I'm very good at like listening to what's going on and just like trying to be okay with the moment and just with nothing at the time. If that's, because that's okay. There's also times where we grow when we're not doing anything. So it's fine.
Literally, too, we need to sleep for cells to regenerate.
Oh, yeah. Your white blood cells are growing during the sleep period. Yeah.
Growth is always happening.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was so deep. But yeah, I think it's important.
How do you tune into that for you personally? What is that like to sit with yourself? I really like that question about is this a challenge, or is this a sign to redirect me?
Well, I check in with myself several times during one day, and I'm like, how are you feeling? Did you drink enough water? Like, what's your how are you feeling? Like, is your brain good? Are you happy? Do you need to call anyone? Like, are you and then sometimes you have to breathe. You just got to sit there and breathe. Like, people forget all the time, especially us entrepreneurs. We're trying to make something with our life, and we just don't have time to take a breath.
We're not making the time.
Yeah. So I just try to be aware and take breaks during the day, whether it's a minute or 30 seconds, and just be like, hey, are you good? So I think we need to remind ourselves to do that. And then
ask yourself questions.
Yeah. Just analyze your body. Like, are you breathing okay? How's your posture? How's your back? What are you feeling? Like, I'm super in tune with myself. Like, I know when if I ate something wrong, I know, like, oh, great. Like, this is not good. Or, so I'm just like really sensitive as well. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Food is a great place for curiosity and how to, in my experience, let go of food rules and other people's food preferences and really be curious and honest with myself about, what am I craving? What do I want? How do I feel when I eat this? How do I feel after I eat this?
Me too. Yeah. I recently, last August, I became a vegetarian because I wasn't feeling like good after eating meat, even though I love burgers and chicken wings and this and that. I wasn't eating a lot of it, but occasionally, and I wasn't feeling the best. And so I just took a break from it. And yeah, surprisingly, this might get a little female-y right now, but my menstrual cramps stopped.
Very cool.
I was like, whoa, what is happening? And then I tried it again the next month, and they again stopped. And I'm like, something's going on with either the hormones in the meat, or I don't know what it was. So I just stopped. I was like, I'd rather not have those cramps than enjoy a burger. So I haven't had meat since. I feel great. So
very cool that you were open to listen to what actually made you feel better. Yeah. I just ate meat for the first time this calendar year. Actually, I ate chicken. Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I felt good. I was vegetarian my whole life, very picky though. And then I went vegan. I went super extreme raw vegan, fruitarian. Like, I really went in there. And last summer I had fish for the first time ever. My body was screaming for salmon specifically, which was so cool and so weird to me because I had literally never eaten it in conscious memory. And so I was like, whoa. I know, it was so cool.
That is nuts.
Yeah, also runny egg yolks, which when I was vegetarian and not vegan, I thought were so gross. And then while vegan, my body was like, hey, that sounds so good. And I was like, who are you?
That sounds good.
That was like that's my body asking for food voice.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, I've had chicken a handful of times this year. Like, chicken burritos sounded good. And I do care a lot about food sourcing. Honestly, like, I feel like I talk to people more about factory farming since not being vegan. And I do still like to eat mostly plants. Yeah. And it's how to, I guess the compassion-y really comes up with curiosity for me too, about being kind with curiosity and letting, like, food especially has been a lesson for me to really be nice with myself. For other period and like female health related talks, I lost my period when I went vegan, and it was, really? I had taken birth control for a lot of years, and I stopped taking that, and I also tapered off an antidepressant, and I went vegan all at the same time. So I gave my body a clusterfuck of, and people, and people lose their period after stopping birth control too. So there's confounding variables here. And for me personally, it's been really cool to see how food relates to period health and to my cycle being more comfortable, my regulation. Like I feel like in my extremism of raw vegan and fruitarian that my body was really unsatisfied with how much fat and how much protein I was eating. And I feel like that was part of my period staying away for longer and it taking time to get regulated again. Yeah. Being without a period was really weird.
I know. I don't really like being too extreme because I feel like everything should be done in some form of moderation. I've tried so many things in the past, like I'm not gonna have carbs or I'm only gonna have this and that. Like we've all tried, things and but yeah, I think over the years I'm just gonna do moderation. So if there's a cake, I have a sweet tooth, I'll have a little bit, but I'm not gonna like have a huge thing. So I'm just
for me, the more I make the cake a big deal, the more of a big deal it becomes.
Oh, I think I don't really care. That's like my motto. I don't really care.
With food stuff or just generally?
With life. Because it makes me just go with the flow. Pun intended again. And it just makes
Shout out menstruation.
Yeah, it just makes me like more easygoing and just like, okay, instead of like worrying about what's happening next or am I going to be on time or this and that. And just kind of be like, yeah, I don't care. And then things actually have worked out the better with this new mentality. So I kind of like it.
Well, that's like following the yes and when to flow with saying yes and opening up more things, which then comes again to how to sit with yourself and be really honest with your questions about is whatever this question decision is a yes or a no for me.
Yeah, I think you just have to really listen to yourself. You just gotta. A lot of people nowadays, they're fearful of being alone. And they're like, oh, what's everyone else doing? Let me check on Instagram. Let me check on Facebook. What can I do? Can I make a video? So that is distracting them from themselves, which is causing more issues, more problems. And it's just a cycle. It's just terrible. So like, people just need to be like, it's not a big deal. Someone else is doing something cool. Big deal. And it's like, whatever. Like, who cares?
There's always going to be something.
There's always something going on. If you ever, need a moment, just look at your phone. Someone's doing something. Don't worry about it. Just like focus on yourself. I think that's what we need to work on nowadays. I'm even guilty of this too. So
we all do it because there's also the curiosity piece where we can get so inspired by seeing what other people are doing, and someone puts out a video and you watch it and then you're inspired to make a video. Or just inspired to explore something or even to sit in silence with yourself and reflect on something that came up from that. And also it's like the being too curious of being almost too connected with the internet because we can be so curious about what everyone's up to all the time.
I know. It's just, you can't win. You just can't win.
So that's why you got to just not care so hard because it's going to happen.
I feel like when I do that, then, stuff happens when it's meant to happen. And I'm just like, okay, cool. This worked out. A lot of things actually do work out. So I've just kind of learned to follow this way. And
maybe it's more like being curious about following the flow.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Being curious about what is meant to happen. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, very much the like observer sort of mentality.
Yeah, totally.
It's such a weird yes and for improv things about then also following the impulse that says, ooh, I want to look up that recipe or I want to check out this store or this show or this whatever because something is leading you there.
Yeah, me too. Like people are like, oh yeah, have you seen this show? And I'm like, no, but then I go home and I check it out. So there's like that curiosity, but then you just got to find time. You don't want to like rearrange your life for that, but then you kind of do. So it's just like you're kind of stuck in a way. So
yeah, and also like what you're saying or what I'm hearing is trusting that you will find time for the things that you are meant to find time for.
Yes, I'm really working on that. Instead of let's say there is something I need to watch. I could literally watch it on the way to my car because I could do like a in the hand thing while walking.
It's again our phones almost giving too much space for that.
Exactly. Or I can watch it while driving, which is very dangerous. Or I could wait until later when I'm like home, I'm done with dinner, I'm chilling, then I could watch it. So it's kind of up to you. to prioritize.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe the base of a lot of this curiosity, is that it's up to you, and it's up to you to be curious about yourself and to take your own path, and also let for all of the cliches of things, let that path guide you as well.
Yeah, super cliche.
Right? It's so trite, and
but
also
works.
Stereotypes are stereotypes for reasons.
I know.
Like, they're based in something.
Yeah, it really works though. Like it's so funny how the cliche is the way. I think that just rhymed. The cliche is the way.
The cliche is the way.
Yeah.
But let the curiosity lead the way.
Yeah, totally.
And also let that curiosity lead you to lessons of saying no.
I know. It's just like, we can talk about this for hours. It's
a
like
circle.
So much. Yeah, it's like, do I do it or not? Is it good? Is it not? Like, it's just back and forth. What else?
I really feel like it, for me, comes down to a feeling. This is where I'm like, everyone's making decisions based on feelings. Philosophy is just using feelings to justify whatever that feeling that comes up that says yes or no.
Yeah, like, trust yourself, even if you're like dating or something. Like, instead of asking your friends, ask yourself, you know, like, do you like the person? How does this person make you feel? Not like, hey, like, what do you think? Like, should I go out with him or not? Like, I'm not sure. Like, how do you feel around the person? How does that person treat you? Like, ask yourself. So, yeah, it's good to know who you are, I think.
What else are we doing here? Figuring out who we are and figuring out how we can help other people.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about education? I feel like we did a little bit. Education nowadays is completely wonkers.
Like the education system.
Yeah, because like, oh man, where do we begin? I mean, I believe that if you bring a child into this world, the parents should be responsible. Like, mainly for stuff, you know, like how to sit at the table, how to, you know, have manners, things like that. But then there are some parents who are lazy and they're like, oh, the school will take care of that. But then the school is like, oh, the parents should have taken care of that. And so there's a lot of that going on. Yeah,
people pushing off responsibility onto other people.
Yeah, and it's just like the poor kid is just like, what do I do?
Someone teach me about sex and food and life.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be a parent, then be ready to teach your kids about everything, even if you don't want to. Also, recently they've cut a lot of budgets with some of the public schools in California for the arts, and it's terrible because, you know, arts do play a big role, not just in like one aspect of the kid's life, but it's related to how they learn math.
Absolutely. And
it's like, oh, we took out the music program. Oh, how come their math grades are dropping now? And it's like, well, gosh.
I wonder. So, yeah, because it's all connected.
It is all connected. And
it teaches you how to be curious in different ways.
Yeah, because the mind is curious about music. Like, we're naturally, our brain is naturally programmed to hear sounds and make sounds. And so music is a part of us, you know, and it moves us. And when you take that out, it's like, how can we, you know, use the other part of our brain? They all work together. And so all kinds of stuff going on there. So that's one of the boards I'm on, the Symphonic Jazz Orchestra. They focus on bringing back music to the lower income communities. So right now I think we have like 5 schools: Compton, Watts, something in Culver City, and maybe one in Long Beach. I can't keep track of them all, but we're doing really well. We've got some teachers coming in and like bringing cool instruments, and they teach the kids about stuff. And we're actually trying to collect data right now to prove that there is a correlation. So
wow, that's all very cool. And also then using curiosity and education to show what you're doing and the impact of it.
Yeah, because education is a big part of my life and your life, and music is big in my life too. So I wanted to be a part of this organization because I am curious to see the correlation. And I also think the kids need music and arts. Like, we all need it.
Yeah, everyone creates in some way.
I heard that when we're like really young, we're all creating like pictures in school, like draw your favorite this and that. But then as we get older, a lot of it is turned off because by society, either people are telling you like you don't need to do that. Like, get a real job, you know? And it's like, but some people don't do that, and they become like the famous singers, the famous directors, the famous actors. But then most of the world is like, stop, get your 9 to 5. So I think we're all born really curious and creative, but then unfortunately it's, I'm looking for one word, but I can't find it. It starts with an S, I think. We're all like...
Stifled?
That could work, yeah. Stifled, I don't know, it'll come up to me later. But.
Okay. You'll like text me from your class being like, here's the word.
Yeah, are we good on time here?
Oh, it is time for you to go to class. So we're gonna cut it here and leave more for people to be curious about.
Yeah. But thank you so much for letting me talk about all this stuff, and I'm still very curious. You're very curious, and I hope the listeners are curious and learned something from today.
Yeah, I hope so too, and that it encouraged people to follow their own curiosity, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being you. Hey, thanks for sticking around till the end. Please check out the AnnieAltmanShow.com and also patreon.com/The Annie Altman Show if you're able and interested in donating $1 or more per month to these projects. Non-dollar ways to share value includes and is not limited to sharing anything, the podcast, any YouTube video, any blog post, any social media account, subscribing, following anywhere, rating or reviewing anything, sending any feedback or ideas, and or connecting me with people for the podcast or other projects you feel would enjoy this work. In my opinion, word of mouth is the only quote real advertising, so here I am using words from my mouth.